Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. I think one of the things we've all heard some variation of is that if we fail to learn from history, then we're doomed to repeat it. And our next guest has been able to use his craft to be able to help us not only learn that history, but also to have the conversations that can help us to do that learning. We're excited to welcome filmmaker Ken Burns to our program today. He's celebrating two great projects this year. One is his docuseries, The U.S. and the Holocaust, but he also has a new book that's coming out that I know you guys want to be on your list. It's called Our America, A Photographic History. We're going to talk to Ken not only about the conversations he's already having, but also the lessons he is hoping that all of us are able to learn. Ken, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Great to be with you.
Well, this is a really important conversation, Ken, and I want to begin first with the docuseries because I think the conversations I've heard and even the reviews already on Prime Video about it really, I think, show the impact it's having. What has that been like for you to see all that hard work that you and your team put together to see it paying off that way?
It's been very thrilling. We didn't, this is a difficult subject, the U.S. and the Holocaust, what we knew and what we didn't know, what we should have known, what we did, what we didn't do, what we should have done. It's a reckoning for the United States. It's always sort of felt like the Holocaust happened over there and we didn't have anything to do with it. And we didn't, but we could have done more to let the people fleeing Nazi terror get into the United States. And while we let in more than any other sovereign nation, 225,000 refugees, we could have let in 5-10 times that many, even with our limited immigration quotas, and I think done a better job of it. And so this is the story, both heroic and not heroic, of the story, so that we can be aware of the way in which it speaks to trends today. So it's been unbelievable response. First of all, the viewership on the original broadcast in September was really great, and then it's been streaming, and as you said, it's on PBS Prime Video on Amazon and PBS Passport, which is PBS's own sort of membership place to stream. And so the streams have been, in the millions, and we've been sort of thrilled by the response, not just in the reviews that we've had most recently, but back in September when the film was first released. So we're thrilled that it has legs and hope Americans understand both the heroic and not so heroic nature of the complicated story we're telling in 3 episodes in 6 hours.
Yeah, and Ken, to that point, I think the thing that I took away, and I think is so important for our audience too, and one of the things that you've talked about, and you called this your most important work that you've done, but I think the fact that there are people who even deny it happened, I think there are, definitely we can see how that resonates today, where there are people who, are basically denying the, facts. That is kind of where we are in the world. What has that been like for you to see, how there are people, even as horrific as the Holocaust was, even to this day, that even believe it occurred?
Yeah, well, this is a tragic thing, and you want to lump those people together because I've got the footage, and it's no false flag staged event. It happened in thousands of places, millions of places, tens of thousands of places, all around Germany and Nazi-occupied Poland and Lithuania and Belarus and Latvia and Lithuania. It's horrific. And we have the evidence. So the people that don't believe it are doing it for some crazy attention-getting political reasons, and I put them in the same category of those people who believe the Earth is flat and that, that lots of events that we know happened didn't happen. So it's this is what's going to happen in a media world. But this is the facts, and we're trying to present them as best we know them. And, we're sorry that there are people who deny it, but there is nothing to deny here. And more importantly, it's important to understand our fellow Americans that, where we failed and where we were exemplary in this story.
Right. Let's continue that conversation about America as we talk about your upcoming release of the book, Ken, Our America, Photographic History. Talk to us about what is it that led you to do this book and what it was like for you. Again, to use another cliche, we all have heard that cliche, a picture's worth 1,000 words. The cover is beautiful, but I mean, what was it like for you to kind of gather this history and to be able to share it in photographs?
Well, the still photograph, the individual still image, is still the DNA of all my films, even if you've got a lot of footage, as we did, say, in baseball or World War II or the Holocaust film. You still want to go back to the basic form of communication, a single image. And so over at nights and over weekends, I've been working for 15 years on a book that sort of collects from the very first picture taken in the United States in 1839, a self-portrait of the photographer Robert Cornelius, to more or less the present moment. We're a little bit sort of open-ended in the last 30, 40 years, but they're all black and white. They're all one photograph to a page with minimal caption. And then in the back, there are those 1,000-word description of it. So you can look at the book and then go back and look at it again and find, information about it. Like, I think the second or the third photograph is just a hand. And the hand, if you look carefully, has been branded SS. And you go, what is that? And then you go to the back and you look and you find out this is the hand of a particular man, a sea captain, who was rescuing runaway slaves. And when he was caught, he was branded with the SS, meaning slave stealer. And so, all of a sudden, it's the story behind the story, behind the story, behind the story. And the book is like that, and I'm as excited about this book as any film that I've ever released. So this fall has been pretty busy with the U.S. and the Holocaust and with this.
Exactly, which is why we want our audience to go ahead and to pre-order Our America. Today you can do that through our friends at Amazon. They are all offering on release day shipping for you guys, so definitely make sure you guys take advantage of that. Again, the film that we were talking about, the docuseries, is the U.S. and the Holocaust. As we mentioned, you can go ahead and stream that now through PBS, but also through Prime Video as well. Ken, thank you so much for the great work you're doing, for helping us to be more informed, but I think also to start these conversations. I look forward to speaking with you again.
Cyrus, this has been a real pleasure, and I think that's exactly right. The only reason why you tell these stories at the past is to enjoin a conversation in the present that lets us grow and be more knowledgeable and move forward in progress and not revert to some of the age-old tendencies that sometimes create things like the Holocaust.
Exactly. Such a great point. Thank you again, Ken. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Then let's go make today amazing. Take care.